Some dossiers take time to resurface. The CIA's own secrets were exposed in a set of documents internally referred to as the family jewels. All the inappropriate and illegal activities over the years were documented in detail over the course of 703 pages of reports and internal correspondence. Though commissioned in 1973, the report took over 30 years to see the light of day by the American public. These documents proved the agency had plotted assassinations, spied on unsuspecting Americans, tapped their phones, read their mail, and conducted LSD experiments on unwitting human subjects. The family jewels were finally released on June 25, 2007, with some pages redacted entirely. Though rights, laws, and its own charter were violated, there was little outcry by the American public. Did the CIA experiment on its own operatives? Was it attempting to create the Manchurian Candidate? Or was this just a smokescreen for the CIA's real goal to elicit intel no matter what the cost? The official term is modification of an individual's behavior by covert means. The unofficial term, as Frank indicates, is mind control. Surgery, hypnosis, programming multiple personalities, and drug use were applied to manipulate the minds of the subjects. Forced coercion and intelligence gathering was the main goal of MKUltra. CIA officials in the 1950s became especially interested in an emerging hallucinogen called lysergic acid dithylamide, also called LSD or acid. They gave LSD to their employees, military personnel, and the mentally ill. Some subjects received doses for up to 77 days. Despite no lack of willing participants, the MKUltra project leaders decided to create Operation Midnight Climax. This sub-program of MKUltra involved setting up safe houses disguised as brothels where they dosed prostitutes and clients without their knowledge and covertly studied the results. New operational techniques were explored and developed in this theater. Surveillance technology and sexual blackmail techniques were greatly expanded, as well as the use of mind-altering drugs in covert field operations. The project was officially closed in 1968. Underground tunnels, international intrigue, costume changes, and a thwarted revolution. Not the latest spy thriller movie. This all actually happened during the Cold War, and right under the Kremlin's nose. In 1989, CIA operatives dug tunnels beneath the underground buildings of the Kremlin to spy on the Soviet Union's senior-most figures. In an operation designed to retrieve a key defector and his wife, bugging equipment was placed in the nerve center of the Kremlin's communication center. The defector and his wife attended the ballet that night, and during intermission went to the bathroom. They were replaced by CIA operatives in disguise and escaped a few days later on a ferry out of the Baltic states. 2 years later, in 1991, intel from the eavesdropping bug was claimed to have saved the life of Mikhail Gorbachev. President Bush called Boris Yeltsin to urge him to stand up to the military as Gorbachev was being detained at his dacha by the members of the coup. Listening devices have been around for the last half-century. From the CIA's initial experiments with cats to the latest technological advances, results have been mixed. In Operation Kitty, cats were surgically implanted with radio gear. The antenna was placed in the tail and the body outfitted with transmitter and batteries. It was assumed the cats would wander around picking up conversations by unsuspecting government agents. The first test cat was taken to a site for trials. The unfortunate feline wandered onto a road as a taxi passed by, and $15 million and over 5 years of research were wiped out in an instant. Though great advances were made after 1960, the CIA had a major setback in 1994 during the bugging of the American ambassador to Guatemala, Marilyn McAfee. The CIA chief accused her of having an affair with her female secretary. The CIA had bugged her room in an attempt to discredit Marilyn, they heard an earful. Only Marilyn was cooing to Murphy, her black standard poodle. To the embarrassment of the CIA, the bug in her room had recorded the ambassador cuddling with her dog. The CIA has a long history with Guatemala. Back in 1954, they led a covert operation to overthrow the president of a foreign democracy. The recently elected Jacobo Arbenz seized unused land from private corporations and then gifted them to the peasants. The U.S. intelligence community frowned on this blatant socialist overture and deemed Arbenz a commie. The Land Reform Acts Arbenz instituted threatened the U.S.-based United Fruit Company, of which the CIA director and his brother were shareholders. The CIA armed and trained a liberation army of about 400 fighters to combat this communist threat with weapons and propaganda. In the end, the CIA got the fruit and the land. Arbenz left Guatemala to retire in Mexico.
Unit 1, respond.